What did other families do that made you realize yours was dysfunctional? I was 14 when I first slept over at my best friend's house. I'd been avoiding it for months because I was terrified of what might happen if I wasn't home. Who would check mom's mood when she got home from work? Who would distract dad before he started yelling about bills? Mom had been sober for 3 weeks, so I finally said yes. I expected chaos. I expected yelling. I expected someone to need rescuing by midnight. Instead, I got the most boring evening of my life. We ate dinner at an actual table. All 4 family members sat down at the same time with actual plates and napkins. When her little brother spilled his milk, her mom just handed him a towel and poured him more. "Accidents happen," she said with a smile. My chest tightened. In my house, spilled milk meant a 20-minute lecture followed by someone stomping off to their room. After dinner, her parents did dishes together. They talked about weekend plans while scrubbing plates. When her dad made a joke, her mom actually laughed. Not the fake laugh I'd perfected to defuse tension. We piled onto the couch to watch a movie. Her parents sat holding hands, her little brother curled up between them. I sat frozen, scanning their faces for warning signs. It never came. At 10 o'clock, her mom said, "Bedtime for everyone." I braced myself. In my house, bedtime meant negotiations, threats, door slamming. Her brother just said, "Okay, Mom," and went to brush his teeth. That was it. Later, lying in her guest room, I listened for sounds of chaos. The house stayed quiet. Something cold settled in my stomach. This piece felt wrong, like a trick. The next morning, her dad made pancakes while her mom packed lunches. They moved around the kitchen without colliding or snapping. When my mom picked me up, she immediately launched into every crisis that had happened. Dad burned dinner. The neighbor complained about our dog. She'd spent an hour looking for her keys. "See what happens when you're not here to help?" she said. The words hit me like ice water. I was 14 years old. I wasn't supposed to be helping adults find their keys. That's when it clicked. Other families didn't need a 14-year-old to manage their chaos. Other kids didn't spend dinner reading facial expressions like a survival manual. Other families didn't treat a peaceful evening like a miracle. I started paying attention at friends' houses after that. I noticed how parents asked about their kids' days and actually listened. How disagreements got resolved with conversations instead of screaming. How kids could express frustration without someone taking it personally. The worst part wasn't realizing my family was dysfunctional. The worst part was realizing I'd been the glue holding it together since I could walk. I'd been managing my parents' emotions and cleaning up their messes for so long that I thought it was normal. Every kid walked on eggshells, right? Wrong. When I moved out at 18, my parents were confused about why I needed space. They called constantly. Mom cried. Dad got angry, then guilty, then angry again. "Family is supposed to support each other," Dad said during one call. "You're right," I replied, "but I was never supposed to be the adult." The silence that followed told me everything. Now I'm 26 with my own apartment and my own idea of family. When I have kids someday, they'll get to be kids. They'll spill milk without consequences. And if they ever sleep over at a friend's house, they'll be bored too. Because boring is actually wonderful when you're a child.